Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Railbookers webinar on Canada, Lonely Planet's top destination to travel to in 2017. We are really excited today to talk through some of our top Canadian rail holiday packages with you. So settle in, and I hope you're ready to get a lot of inspiration for your holidays this year. My name is Sarah Turner. I work in the marketing department here at Railbookers, and as you'll be able to see on your screens there, I am going to be giving away £50 of your next rail holiday to one lucky person at the end of this presentation. Plus, as always, absolutely everybody is going to get £25 off their next trip with us. So lots of exciting offers to be had. You'll see our phone number at the bottom of the screen there, 0203 780 2382. Jot that down, and after the webinar today or tomorrow, whenever you're ready, just give us a call. Now, I'd love to just have a few seconds of your time to talk to you about who we are and what we do. You guys know by now we are Railbookers. We have a great team here built up of self-confessed train geeks, true rail experts who have fantastic knowledge of the routes, the holidays, the packages that we offer. And what we do is use our inside access, our direct partnerships with rail companies, hotels across the world to get special rates and availability not accessible to the public. That means that you have total flexibility with your trip. You can book at any time, even if the tickets aren't available on public sale yet. Or you can tailor make any of the trips that you see today or any of the ones on our website to be perfect to you. What we really want to do is just take that hassle out of what we know can be a very confusing, stressful perhaps, process. We just want to make it so all you have to do is show up, get on the train, and have a wonderful time. And that, we think, is why we have won so many industry awards. We really are an award-winning tour operator. You'll see there just a couple of the places, a couple of the continents maybe that we go to. We organise holidays all over Europe, the USA and Canada, but far beyond that as well. You'll see a couple of the different types of holidays that we offer there. Scenic rail journeys, of course, we're going to have a good look into some of these today in this presentation. If you don't have quite as long, we do city breaks as well. And you'll see luxury and private train journeys, rail and sail, lakes and mountains trips if you really are looking to get that amazing scenery from the side of the train, and coast-to-coast journeys across the USA and across Canada. Here are just a few of our top destinations. So classic ones that are, our customers' old favorites, things like Italy, Switzerland and Germany, and some really up-and-coming places as well. We're seeing a huge demand for the USA at the moment, these amazing Amtrak holidays, and Scandinavia as well. Such a great destination to take the trains around. Just a quick glimpse into some of our top European packages here before I pass over to my colleague Jackie, who will be whetting your appetite for our Canadian trips. You can see Cologne and Berlin, Madrid and Andalusia. That would be a great summer holiday if you're trying to plan your trip this year. And of course, the Venice Simplon-Orient-Express, just an example of one of the luxury holidays that we offer. Quick few more here. You can see Italian lakes, Lake Como, Lake Garda, Lake Maggiore, by the Alps, so taking a spectacularly scenic route to get to one of these beautiful Italian lakes. The classic Glacier and Bernina Express for a Swiss adventure, some of the most scenic journeys in the world there. And Porto, Coimbra and Lisbon. Portugal is really, really growing in popularity as people are booking their summer holidays and trying to find alternatives to the normal cultural breaks. If you guys have any questions at all throughout the presentation, just pop them in the box to the side of your screen. It should be on the right there. We'll be happy to provide you with an answer. We get loads and loads of questions to these though, so if we don't get around to answering your question, don't worry, because one of our rail experts will be in touch with you in the coming days to have a chat about your question with you. without much further ado, I'm so happy to pass you over to my colleague, Jackie Malecki. She is the product manager at Railbookers, speaking to you all the way from California. I know that she's done quite a few of these trips herself as well, so she's a great pair of hands to talk to you about our Canadian product.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. And as Sarah mentioned, I am very excited to talk about some of our Canada packages that we have, especially throughout the Canadian Rockies. As I was just there a few months ago, absolutely spectacular, amazing destinations there. So I want to start out talking about our Ultimate Canada coast-to-coast trip. It's an 18-day cross-Canada rail adventure. This package here, it actually starts out in Halifax, the capital of the province, Nova Scotia, and you'll be able to explore the city at your leisure. So while you're there, you can visit the oldest continuously running farmers market in North America, which is the Halifax Seaport Farmers Market, or you can stroll through some of the beautiful flower gardens and grounds, the Halifax Public Gardens, or maybe just take a walk along the beautiful waterfront there. And then from Halifax, you're going to board Via Rail and take their ocean train route as you head over to Quebec City. And there in Quebec City, we include a guided tour for you. So your guide's going to share some great stories about the different historic points of interest that you're passing through, like the Latin Quarter, Plains of Abraham, the ramparts there, the world-famous Chateau Frontenac Hotel, which is actually pictured right here on the right. It's a Quebec City icon. It's actually claimed to be the most photographed hotel in North America. And then from Quebec, you're going to take the train heading down to Montreal, which is known as the cultural capital of Quebec and the commercial capital of Canada. It's really known for all its fabulous cuisine and shopping. And Montreal actually has a whole underground city. So it has a series of interconnected tunnels beneath the city that runs for over 18 miles. And those tunnels down there, they actually connect the shopping malls. So there's over 2,000 stores, connect 7 metro stations, universities, banks, museums, tons of restaurants, and so on. And while you're there, you also have a tour included. So you'll be able to experience the city and some of the famous attractions like the Notre Dame Basilica, the Place Jacques-Cartier, and Old Montreal. And then from there, you're going to take the train and head over to Toronto, Canada's largest city, and arguably its most culturally diverse. And you can see the CN Tower there just soaring over Toronto's skyline. And you'll have a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour included, so you'll be able to see all of Toronto's top sites, like the Royal Ontario Museum, the beautiful Casa Loma, the Toronto Harbourfront, and so much more. And then from Toronto, you're actually going to have a full-day tour that will take you from your hotel and bring you down to Niagara Falls. Now, Niagara Falls is actually made up of 3 falls. There's the American Falls, the Bridal Veil Falls, which is the smallest one, and the most famous, the Horseshoe Falls, also known as the Canadian Falls. And while you're there, you'll be able to enjoy a boat cruise that will take you right up close to the falls there. You'll actually be able to feel that mist coming onto you. And on the way back, you'll actually make a stop at Niagara on the Lake. And that's a charming town. It has some art galleries, antique shops. There's some wineries close by there where they make the famous ice wine. And actually about 75% of the world's ice wine actually comes from Ontario. Then you'll be brought back to Toronto for the night. And the next day, you're going to board Via Rail's The Canadian. And that's a 3-night journey taking you across Canada over to Jasper. On that route there, you're going to see some beautiful landscapes and some sites that are only possible to see by train. You'll see some of the Great Lakes there, farm country, some of the wide open plains, some of the rolling tree-covered hills there. And you'll also definitely want to keep an eye out from wildlife, because there's always that possibility of maybe seeing an elk, deer, maybe even a bear there, or any of the local species. And while you're on board the train, you can just sit back, relax, maybe go to the observation cars, where they have those nice large glass windows, taking those great sights. They'll often have local Canadian musicians that will come on board, put on some performances. There's people that will talk about the regions that you're traveling through, whether it's about the history, culture, or maybe some of the landscapes that you're seeing. But most of all, it's very social on the train. It really is a unique and great experience. You're going to meet some people from all over the world that are all taking this bucket list trip. And then you'll take the train through the Canadian Rockies, winding around the mountains there as you make your way to Jasper. So you'll spend the night there at the beautiful mountainside town. And you'll have free time to take a stroll downtown, explore some of the shops and restaurants. And then the next day, you'll leave Jasper and take a scenic drive down to Banff. On that drive, you're actually going to travel down the world-famous Icefields Parkway. It's an absolutely amazing drive, just full of breathtaking mountain peaks. And you'll also have a chance to visit the Columbia Icefield, which is actually one of the largest expanses of ice and snow south of the Arctic Circle. And while you're there, you'll make a stop and you're going to board this specially designed Ice Explorer vehicle that will actually take you onto a glacier. You'll go right onto Athabasca Glacier. You can even drink some of that fresh glacial water there. And you'll also stop at the Glacier Skywalk, which has a glass floor observation platform that extends out over the Sinwakta Valley. And when your tour ends, they'll take you right to your hotel in Banff, one of the most scenic towns in the Canadian Rockies. And there you can enjoy some of the local shops and restaurants, or maybe take a walk along the trails there. There's a lot of different ones. My favorite is the one following right along the Bow River. I'll take you right down to the waterfalls there. And then from Banff, after your stay there, you're actually going to take that beautiful ride back through the Icefields Parkway, making your way to Jasper. And then the following morning, you'll board Via Rail, continuing your cross-country journey over to Vancouver. And there in Vancouver, you're going to have a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour that will take you to all those great sites like Stanley Park, Vancouver downtown, or the peninsula known as Granville Island, which is a popular shopping district there. And that's our 18-day Ultimate Canada coast-to-coast trip, starting in Halifax and going over to Quebec City, Montreal, Toronto, touring Niagara Falls, taking that cross-Canada journey over to Jasper, going down into the Canadian Rockies to see Banff, and then ending in Vancouver. Now, another great option that we have is the best of Eastern Canada and the USA, a 14-day adventure. This package here starts in Montreal, where you'll have a guided tour of the city, so you'll hear some amazing stories and background about Montreal, while seeing some of the popular sites like Old Montreal, Montreal Harbor, Chinatown. And a little fun fact I would love to share too is actually more than 85% of the world's maple syrup actually comes from the province of Quebec. So things like maple cookies, maple butter, maple candy, maple marinades are among some of Montreal's specialties. So while you're there, you're definitely going to have to try some of those and take some home with you. And then from Montreal, you'll take the train heading down to Quebec City, the French-speaking capital city, which is really a blend of old world charm, modern elegance, and cutting-edge chic. And Old Quebec actually has a distinctive ambiance to it, and it attracts people from all over the world. That's what really makes it such a popular destination. And while you're there, we make sure to include the city tour that will tell you all about the French-Canadian history, take you around to all the hot spots, so you'll see some of the castles, the basilica, City Hall, and so much more. Then you're going to head down to Niagara Falls, and you'll actually be able to spend the night there too. And we include for you the Adventure Pass. So that allows you to get into the journey behind the falls, which is the caverns and caves there that'll actually take you behind the Horseshoe Falls, the largest falls there in Niagara Falls. And we also include that boat ride for you, so you really get to see it from all angles. Then you'll continue on your journey down to New York City, the city that never sleeps. And we have a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour to take you all around New York to see all those great sites like Times Square, Rockefeller Center, the Empire State Building, Central Park, and so much more. And while that tour will take you all around the city, we also include the City Pass, which gets you admission to all the top attractions and museums, including that observation deck at the top of the Empire State Building. You'll also be able to see the American Museum of Natural History, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, my favorite, the Top of the Rock observation deck, because from up there it has great views looking down at New York City. You can see Central Park, the Empire State Building there. You can even see the Statue of Liberty off in the distance. Then you'll continue on your journey down to Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love there. You'll have a great tour so you can explore this fascinating and historic city. So you'll go to places like Betsy Ross's house, City Hall. You'll be able to see the Liberty Bell, Independence Hall. And then you'll continue on your journey down to Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. On your tour there, you'll stop at places like the White House, National Archives, the Library of Congress. You can even stop the Smithsonian museums, which all have free admission to get into, so you can spend the days checking out some of those museums there. But a great highlight of this package, too, is we include the Monuments by Moonlight tour. And that's one of my favorite things about Washington, D.C., because it's always great seeing the monuments during the day. You can check them out. But it's even more incredible seeing them at night when they're all lit up. So things like the Lincoln Memorial, Jefferson Memorial, Washington Monument, World War II Memorial, great ways to check them out there. And that is our 14-day, the best of Eastern USA in Canada. This package starts in Montreal, then goes to Quebec City, Toronto, Niagara Falls, down to New York City, Philadelphia, and then Washington, D.C. Now, another great option for anyone looking to explore the best of the Pacific Northwest is our Canadian Rockies Discovery, Eastbound with Seattle. And I say eastbound because we can also do this package in reverse. But this package here starts in Seattle, where you do have admission to the top of the Space Needle. Absolutely great 360-degree views of the city. So you can see some of the mountain ranges off in the distance, even Mount Rainier. You can see Elliott Bay's waterfront and really just all of downtown Seattle. And then after that, right at the base is the Chihuly Garden and Glass exhibit, where we include admission to get in there. And it has those beautiful glass-blown sculptures that have all been made into a beautiful garden. From Seattle, you'll travel on the Amtrak Cascades train up to Vancouver. And there we have the hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour to take you to all of Vancouver's most popular sites like Stanley Park, Chinatown, Gastown, Granville Island. And we also include admission to the Vancouver Lookout, so you can have amazing views of Vancouver too. Then from Vancouver, we'll include the ferry, taking you out to Victoria for the day. So you'll be able to experience the City of Gardens. And Victoria is really known for its hanging flower baskets. They've really become a trademark recognized around the world, and you can see them in the picture here too. And those baskets, they're placed on the downtown lampposts every June, signaling the start of summer, and they stay there until late September. And while you're there, you can also visit the famous Bouchard Garden, which has over 55 acres of just perfectly manicured grounds full of those gorgeous blossoms and some fresh fragrances there. And then you're going to leave Vancouver the following day. You'll leave at night, so just after you enjoy some dinner in the city, and you're going to take Via Rail. So you'll be able to experience an overnight on the train. When you wake up the next morning, you can go to the dining car, enjoy your breakfast there, and then you're going to start traveling through the snow-peaked mountains of the Canadian Rockies. So you can enjoy those views from the dome car, the panorama viewing car, or even from your private sleeping cabin if you choose. On that route, you actually pass right by Mount Robson, which is actually the highest peak in the Canadian Rockies. You'll get off the train in Jasper, And there we include a sightseeing tour through Jasper National Park. So you'll see some great sites like Athabasca Viewpoint, Moline Canyon, where you have some great views of the waterfalls there. And you'll also be able to see Moline Lake and Medicine Lake. And then from Jasper, you'll travel down that beautiful Icefields Parkway. You will make a stop at Athabasca Glacier and the Glacier Skywalk before ending in Banff. And the next day from Banff, we include a tour for you so you can experience all the mountains, lakes, and waterfalls of the beautiful Canadian Rockies. So we do include a trip out to Lake Louise, which is one of the most photographed lakes in landscapes. And those lakes, they're actually world-renowned for their distinctive turquoise hue. They always look like they've been photoshopped in pictures, but they really are that unique and beautiful color. And that color, it actually comes from the silt-like rock flour that's being carried into the lake by the meltwater from some of the surrounding glaciers. And while you stop there, we make sure to include plenty of time for you to enjoy lunch, explore the lake at your leisure. So if you want to hike around it, maybe look for some wildlife, or just relax in the historical Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise, you can certainly do so. And then we'll transfer you over to Calgary, where you'll have some free time to explore the city on your own there. And the next day, you can head back to the UK and fly back home. And that there's our 12-day Canadian Rockies Discovery Eastbound trip, beginning in Seattle, going over to Vancouver, taking the ferry out to Victoria, experiencing Via Rail over to Jasper, down the Icefields Parkway to Banff, touring Lake Louise, and ending in Calgary. Now, there's really two major trains that go through Canada and to experience the Canadian Rockies. The train I talked about, that's all Via Rail, which is Canada's national railroad there. The other way to experience it is with Rocky Mountaineer, which is a luxury train there. Now, the packages, as you see here, this one is a little similar to the one I just mentioned, but really the biggest difference is the train experience that you're getting. So this one here is exploring the Canadian Rockies, but doing it on Rocky Mountaineer. So it begins in Vancouver, so you'll enjoy the city with your tour. It's that hop-on, hop-off. You can tour it at your leisure. Maybe you want to hop off at Stanley Park, enjoy some fresh air, take a walk along the waterfront pathways there, maybe go into the park and see the famous totem poles. You will have the ferry taking you out to Victoria to explore the Bouchard Gardens. And then you're going to board Rocky Mountaineer, that luxury train journey, as you make your way from Vancouver to Jasper. Now, the difference with Rocky Mountaineer and Via Rail, one of the major differences is that with Rocky Mountaineer here, you don't sleep on the train, but actually in a hotel for the night. So with this one, you'll actually leave Vancouver in the morning. You'll travel along the Fraser River there, and on board, you'll enjoy your gourmet meals there. They pair them with some local British Columbia wines and beers. And then you'll make a stop at night in Kamloops. So that's where you'll sleep there, and the next day, you'll wake up, board the train, and continue on over to Jasper. So you'll arrive in Jasper at night, and then the next day, you have a full day exploring the beauty of Jasper National Park. And then the following day, you'll travel along the Icefields Parkway. You will make that stop at the Glacier Skywalk for great views of the mountains, waterfalls, and glaciers, all in Jasper National Park. And then your tour will end in the beautiful mountainside town of Banff. Now, while you're in Banff, in this package here, you actually get to enjoy a gondola ride, which will take you up to the top of Sulphur Mountain, right in the heart of the Canadian Rockies. Absolutely amazing views of Banff from up there, but also of the Bow Valley, and just a full 360-degree view of up to 6 mountain ranges. And the next day, you'll be able to tour Banff National Park. You will see the famous Lake Louise. And then you'll be transferred over to Calgary, We're there, you can explore the city at your leisure. You can check out the Eau Claire Market, has tons of restaurants and pubs there. You can see Canada's Olympic Park, which is the site of the 1988 Winter Games. You can even venture to the top of the Calgary Tower if you have time for some great views of the city there. And that there is our Canadian Rockies with Rocky Mountaineer. Starting in Vancouver, going over to Victoria, Kamloops, Jasper, down into Banff, touring Lake Louise, and then ending in Calgary. Now, if you are looking to do that full cross-Canada trip, we do have an option doing it with Rocky Mountaineer when you get to the Rockies there. This one here is a 14-day trip beginning in Toronto, where you have that hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour. So you can explore the Yorkville neighborhood if you want some elegant dining and some luxury boutiques there. That's where you'll find Bloor Street, which is known as the Mink Mile, their shopping district. And then you'll have a tour taking you down to Niagara Falls for the day. And then you're going to board Via Rails, the Canadian, on that cross-Canada journey over to Jasper National Park. From there, you're going to travel down the Icefields Parkway as you make your way to Lake Louise. Now, in this package here, you actually stay right at the Fairmont Chateau, Lake Louise. That is the hotel pictured right here. Absolutely beautiful. Sits right on the edge of Lake Louise there. Amazing views of all the mountains surrounding the hotel. And then from there, you'll travel down to Banff, where you will be able to explore the Banff Gondola. You're going to feel like you're on top of the world when you're up there, especially if you go to that main level observation deck that they have. You can also go outside, too. They have a skywalk, a little walkway there to get some fresh air. It's about 1 kilometer long, right at the peak of the mountain. And then from Banff, you're going to board Rocky Mountaineer in the morning and head right through the heart of the Rockies. On this train route here, you're going to travel to places that no cars can go. It'll wind around the mountains, through some of the canyons there. Absolutely incredible views that you'll see. And then you'll arrive in Kamloops at night, so you'll enjoy a comfortable night's sleep at your hotel. And then the next morning, you'll board Rocky Mountaineer again, continuing on that scenic journey over to Vancouver. Now, when you're on board, there's actually hosts there, too, that are telling you stories along your journey. So they're pointing out some of those most scenic parts, like Kinbasket Lake, Kicking Horse River, which is actually deep in the Canadian Rockies. You'll pass by Castle Mountain and so much more. Then you'll get off the train there in Vancouver, where you'll have a hop-on, hop-off tour to enjoy the city at your own pace. And that is our 14-day Trans-Canada adventure with Rocky Mountaineer. Starting in Toronto, touring Niagara Falls, continuing across Canada over to Jasper, spending the night in Lake Louise, heading down to Banff, Kamloops, ending in Vancouver. Now that was just a small sample of some of our packages, just the top 5 that we have. If you're looking to experience the beautiful Canadian Rockies or Canada there. I talked a little bit about the train. I mentioned there's 2 different types of trains. There's Via Rail as well as Rocky Mountaineer. So I just want to take a couple minutes and kind of explain a little bit more about the differences there. So again, the Canadian, that's Via Rail's train route there. That route, it goes from Toronto across Canada through Jasper National Park over to Vancouver. That's the most scenic train ride and a bucket list experience for a lot of people. Now, when you're on the train taking this trip, again, you're not stuck in your seat or your sleeping car there. You're getting up. You can explore all the train has to offer. Definitely spend some time in the panorama viewing car here, those nice large glass windows, to just take in all those amazing sights. Now, if you are doing the overnight on the train, whether it's that cross-Canada journey or through the Canadian Rockies, we highly recommend upgrading to one of the sleeping cabins. The most popular one is the bedroom for 2. You can see here you have your own private room, private bathroom, 2 comfortable seats during the day, nice window to look out, taking all those great sights, and at night it's bunk beds there. There's also the dining car on the train. The food, it really is spectacular. There's chefs that are preparing the meals there. And the menu, it actually changes daily because as they're traveling through the different provinces, they'll offer some local cuisine from that area there. If you do upgrade to one of the sleeping accommodations, all your meals in the dining car are actually included on board too, so great value. Now the other type of train is Rocky Mountaineer, which runs just through the Canadian Rockies there. There's actually 2 levels of service that they offer. They have the Silver Leaf. So with that, you're in the single level dome car, those nice large windows there, again, taking in those great views. All your meals and drinks, they are included on board for you. They have some award-winning chefs that are putting these meals together, and they'll be served right to your seats there. The other type of service is the Gold Leaf, and this is for anyone that's really looking for the best of the best on the train route here. With this one, they're actually seated in a bi-level dome car, so during the day, they'll stay at the top there, nice panorama windows, and then right below that is where they'll go for their meals, where they have the dining car there. But they also have access to the outside little deck porch area there, so they can get some fresh air and really just another place to take in some of those great sights. Now with that, I want to say thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me all about some of the Canada trips that we have. And at this time, I want to turn it over to Sarah, who's going to tell you a little bit more about what we have to offer with Railbookers and how you can book one of these great rail holidays.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Jackie, and I hope all of you enjoyed hearing about our amazing Canadian packages that we're offering at the moment, just some of the top ones. Obviously, we go to Canada, but we also have packages across the USA and across Europe, as well as much, much more. So really just let us know where it is that you're wanting to travel, and I'm sure we'll have something fantastic for you. And those sorts of things, as we said before, scenic rail journeys and city breaks. We do have amazing luxury and private train journeys. I know Jackie's just spoken to us about the Rocky Mountaineer, which looks absolutely incredible. Rail and sail as well. Maybe you want to add an Alaska cruise if you're thinking about going to Canada. Lakes and mountains, we've seen some great scenery on the Canadian trips, but there's going to be equally fantastic scenery perhaps on lots of other ones as well, and coast to coast USA and Canada if you want to make it a really epic long haul adventure. And you'll see some of our top destinations. We're going to look through a couple of our best-selling packages at the moment. Places like Scandinavia, Italy, the USA, Switzerland, and Germany are always great sellers. Some of those rising in popularity at the moment as well. So we've got a trip to Cologne and Berlin, which is a fantastically popular option for people maybe with not that much time, but who want to really get the most out of their holiday. It's a twin center break, going to explore Cologne and obviously the German capital, Berlin, as well. They're so easily connected by train and really near to the UK as well. So it'd be great if you've just got a couple of days but want to really pack in as much culture as you can to your holiday. And as we said before, if you are thinking about maybe where you want to go for your summer holiday, or you're just craving some sunshine looking outside at the pretty dreary English landscapes at the moment, Madrid and Andalusia could be a fantastic option. Fly in and out of Madrid on this trip, but if you wanted to take the train all the way down, that's a really easy thing for us to organise, and it would be a really great way to see France and Spain as well on the way. We're going to take a couple of nights in each Granada, Cordoba, and Seville. Just 3 fantastic cities for Moorish architecture and sipping sangria and eating tapas with some great, great weather down in the south of Spain. If you love the look of our Canada trips, but perhaps want to stay a bit closer to home, maybe you don't fly, or maybe you just want to do a short haul trip this year, Switzerland could be a really fantastic option. It's got this similar amazing lakes and mountain scenery that we just love about the Canadian packages. And the classic Glacier and Bernina Express holiday that we offer is an absolutely fantastic option for the scenery. 2 panoramic trains with amazing huge windows, going across viaducts like the ones you see in the picture there, and really just soak up all the amazing scenery of Switzerland on one trip by rail from the UK. A destination that we've seen really rise in popularity recently is Portugal. It's easy to get to from the UK by rail. On this holiday, if you see here on the map, we're flying in and out. But if you'd like to take the train instead, completely fine. Absolutely, we can do that for you. We're going to have a couple of nights each in Porto, Coimbra and Lisbon here. Really great cities to contrast. You're going to get some great wine in Porto. Coimbra is a fantastic ancient university city, and Lisbon, as you can see in the picture, just a great coastal place to go, soak up the culture and a really fantastic atmosphere. Last but not least, I have to talk to you about the Venice Simplon-Orient-Express. It is one of our best sellers all the time because it is just the perfect luxury trip. It's essentially perhaps the world's most luxurious train, traveling from London to Venice in this case. And obviously the most amazing thing, apart from the sumptuous cuisine and the amazing sleeping accommodations, is pulling into Venice across that lagoon at the end of the journey. It's just an amazing sight to behold. 3 nights in Venice, just absolutely incomparable. If you've never been before, I cannot recommend it highly enough, before flying back. So you could easily take the train back if you'd rather as well. And as promised at the beginning of the conversation, one of our listeners is going to get £50 off their next rail holiday with us. We've had such a great attendance today, but I'm happy to say that our winner is Nick Folkard. So Nick, we will be in touch with you tomorrow to inform you of all the details of your prize, so congratulations to you. And for everybody else as well, everybody is going to get £25 per person off their next trip. Nick, these are combinable offers, so you can have both for your next Railbookers holiday. You don't have to use these on the Canadian trip, so obviously understand if you do want to. But any of our holidays that you can see on our website, all you have to do is quote RB Webinar Jan when you ring up and speak to one of our rail experts and get that holiday booked by the 31st of January this year. And how do you book? That's a great question. You can see that number on your screen. Just jot it down if you haven't already. 0203 780 2382. We've got the team here now, and they'll be in again at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Really excited to take all of your calls and chat to you about your rail holidays. Okay, fantastic. So all that's left to do is thank you so much for joining us and to try and answer as many of your questions as we can. We've had a really fantastic response, so we won't get around to answering all of the questions today, but I can see a couple here. Jackie, maybe you could answer this one. We've got a question from Barbara who says she likes the look of our Eastern USA and Canada package, but she doesn't have 14 days to take away. Can she alter it? Can she tailor-make that trip?
Of course, we can certainly do that for her. No problem. Any of our packages that we have, everything can be tailor-made. So if you only have a week and a half for your holiday there, no problem. Give us a call. Anyone at Railbookers can assist you and make some of those changes, whether it's maybe taking out a city or maybe it's just shortening a few nights on some of the different destinations there. They'll be able to help you out and put together the perfect holiday for you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for answering that, Jackie. And then we've got another one. We've got Jill who's asking about upgrade options on the Canadian train. I know you spoke a little bit about this in the presentation. Can you tell us about some of the different options that are available?
Sure. There are a few different types of sleeping accommodations there on Via Rail. Again, the most popular one that we have people stay in is the cabin for 2 there. If there's anyone that's maybe traveling a little bit more on a budget there, no problem. We can also do the berth accommodations there, so you still get your seat during the day on your own bed there at night, but again, it's not in a private cabin there. For any single solo travelers out there, Via Rail does offer a cabin for 1, so there's no single supplement, great pricing for that too. And for anyone that's looking for really that luxury experience while they're doing cross-Canada, a great option is the Prestige class. So while all the other sleepers are all bunk beds there at night, in the Prestige class, it's a queen-size bed that you have in there, your own private bathroom there, you get butler service, all your meals, all your drinks, everything's included for you. So lots of great amenities that come with that Prestige luxury class.
Absolutely, fantastic. Yeah, that Prestige class does look absolutely amazing. If maybe it's a special trip, that would certainly be a great option to consider. Okay, I think we've got time for one more question. We have Bill, who's asking if he can book his trip for next year. So he wants to take one of our Canadian holidays, but for 2018. And I can answer that yes, absolutely, we can organise your trips for next year. Obviously, it's just the start of 2017 now. We're taking bookings all the way through the year and into next year as well. So just call one of our rail experts and they'll be really happy to put a package together for you whenever it is that you want to go. Okay, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to sit and chat with us today about these amazing packages that we're offering to Canada. Hope to speak to all of you very soon when you give our rail experts a call. We hope we can put something fantastic together for you. So thank you very much and good night.